Hello everybody. Welcome back to Mindustry. Last night I wanted to record some Industry, and I kind of got sidelined having to reconquer salt flats, because apparently that's a fucking thing. Instead of wanting to focus on the shit I actually wanted to do, I had to reconquer this. So we had to rebuild this entire base. I did eventually go for impact reactors. I think I might have done that off camera. But yeah, it's kind of fun. So I had to redo all of this, and then I wanted to try to do RTG generators, which is why this isn't straight up. But I kind of like the sushi belt. I kind of like the Factorio-esque, colorful rainbow sushi belt kind of thing going on here. It's very, very nice. So I did conquer Sector 1 off camera, just for, shits and giggles. There's not much here except for scrap, I guess, I could send over. There is some copper and lead, I guess, but yeah, there's not a lot here that I'm that interested in. I wanted to focus last night on conquering Impact 0078 and Coastline. That was what I intended to do. But now that we're here, we can go ahead and do it. So let's go ahead and launch from Salt Flats. And we will go attack Impact 0078. Everything, please. I did set up a schematic for a core starter. So this basically just attaches a few things to this, basically. It attaches a lot of unloaders. This creates monos. This creates monos that are then upgraded into a poly. RTG generator with some thorium being unloaded along with a battery and a conduit. This basically is just like what I've started using kind of for basically to start sectors, basically, because I've learned over time that instead of having to set up mining belts for copper and lead or whatever, it's far more convenient to just build polys and monos. The polys are very useful for just disassembling shit, but they're also good for building defenses and that kind of thing. The monos obviously will mine lead and copper for you. I also did learn that if you upgrade the monos into polys, the polys can mine stuff, but the megas apparently can mine titanium, which is something that I am very interested in. I don't know, can the quad mine anything else? Quad can't mine at all. But the megas might be interesting to have at some point just to mine titanium. I don't know. How are we doing here? So this is at a 45 wave defense, first off. Holy shit. Where are they coming from? That's the real question, huh? This is the drop zone. Is there only one or are there two? I bet there's a second one up here. No, there is not. Is there a second one up here? Really? Okay, well this should be relatively easy then. 45 waves, I'm a little nervous about what the Guardian could be. The longer the waves are and the harder the map is allegedly supposed to be, the more difficult the Guardian tends to be. I'm slightly concerned about that. Do I have any monos and shit up and running? Oh. I was like, I should have monos and stuff at this point. Why don't I have anything going? It's because fucking the power node didn't do its job. Fantastic, thank you. One of the weak points of this game, in my opinion, is the fucking power node system. It's super gimmicky when it comes to what it tries to connect to. I am not a stellar fan of that shit. I really am not. If it breaks and you hold down B to reconstruct everything, sometimes power lines just straight up won't fucking connect for some goddamn reason. It's not good. It's really not. Guess that should be good enough. What am I going to use? So I kind of wanted to use the foreshadows. I haven't tried out the meltdown yet. Charges and fires a persistent laser beam at nearby enemies. Requires coolant to operate. It might be interesting, but it does require coolant, so I do need to get water or cryo fluid in here. Probably cryo fluid would be the way to go because we have titanium right here. Do we have any easily accessible sand on this map? Probably not. We got water over there. No, doesn't look like we have any easily accessible sand. So we either need to grind down scrap into sand or, I guess, pull it from our core. One of the things I am not a fan of when it comes to these guys is that if you're not actively rebuilding something, they won't help you with it. Which I'm not a big fan of. Unless you are actively helping them build something, they won't even bother. I'd like a unit that would, like, automatically just build shit for me. I really don't want to have to be doing this myself. I'll go 2 units. I'm pretty confident in my setup now. If I wanted to really reinforce this against anything, including, you know, a really, really tough Guardian, because let me explain to you what happened in the nuclear production complex. And I don't want to give away, because I haven't done that zone yet, but the nuclear production complex was really easy for me. It's 50 waves, and the 50 waves were incredibly easy. The Guardian kicked my ass. You know what I mean? Where it's like the enemies and the waves leading up to the Guardian were not a problem. The Guardian itself was like, I think it was a tier 5 unit. I want to say it was either an Antumbra or it was an Eclipse. It's one of the two. It was a big, beefy airship. And that's kind of an issue because I didn't really lean into air defense, unfortunately. And the other issue is the thing like shot like lasers and was able to like sap my stuff. So I'm really concerned about the enemies being easy in the waves, but the Guardian kicking my ass. So if I wanted to really like reinforce this, you know what I mean? I could layer some plastanium on all of my defenses. And then I probably want to get some more mend projectors up here. I don't want to get blindsided by some kind of Guardian that will kick my ass, you know what I mean? I probably should add some foreshadows in, right? Add in a couple of foreshadows here. So can I have 8 of you guys set to rebuild, and then the other 16 set to repair? That might be the way to go. I probably want to create a repair turret, right? Just to keep these guys alive. Probably a second one up here somewhere. Try and keep everything alive. And then I guess I could wall some of this off. This could be completely walled off, and it would be just as effective. You know what I mean? Because they have to get through all this anyway. So maybe I just wall all this off. I think that'll be okay. I probably want to add in plastanium. Probably want to do this just in case the Guardian has some kind of like laser attack. And that'll help keep my shit alive, basically. Wow, those foreshadows are doing work, dude. Oh, they're trying to go through the side here. Yeah. Forgot about that. Any way for us to blockade this off? Wanted to do that, I could. I could add another meltdown if I wanted to, like, really laser the shit out of anything that... How much damage does a meltdown do? 936 damage per second. How long does it fire? It charges and fires a persistent laser beam at nearby enemies. Requires coolant to operate. Alright. This should be enough. With that many swarmers, the meltdown, the 2 foreshadows, the cyclones, the tsunami spraying water on enemies, I can't imagine very many enemies, even if it was a tier 5 Guardian, that could possibly withstand this much firepower. I mean, maybe that's arrogance on my part. Let's go ahead and start slamming waves to get this done. Let's see how well our defenses handle it. Wow. Foreshadows are doing work. I want to see that laser. Didn't even get a chance to use the laser, guys. All right. And we got 42, 43, 44, and 45. So are we going to get a second Guardian? Or did the Guardian just come early for some reason? Hey, look, sector captured. I feel like we've come a very long way from just like fueling all of our shit using like copper or just thorium or whatever. I feel really good that we've elevated the defenses to surge alloy, and we're doing like wet combos and stuff like that. This is good. So we unlocked Conquering Impact 0078 gave us the Force Projector. Creates a hexagonal force field around itself, protecting buildings and units inside from damage. Will overheat if too much damage is sustained. Optionally uses coolant to prevent overheating. Phase fabric will increase the shield's size. Interesting. Okay. So now we got the Desolate Rift. Threat Extreme. I think it's the first time I've seen Threat Extreme. Even the nuclear production complex is only high. Threat Extreme is very interesting. We do have two bases that we need to deal with here. One of them is Extreme and one of them is Eradication. But we will deal with those bases at some point, I promise. But I feel good. We got the Impact 0078 done. I probably want to do the bases next, but I kind of also want to do the coastline to try out naval units. Nuclear production complex also needs to get done, and I guess this new Desolate Rift zone needs to be handled at some point. Maybe I'll save that for last, because Extreme seems like a final level sort of deal. I don't know. I guess we'll see.